Hello and happy Tuesday, everyone. We've got our lava generation, as you can see. We've got it. So I think it's time. I think it is basil. I think it is coriander. Um, I think it's many things. But most importantly, it is Tuesday, and as all Tuesdays, um, it is a good one. I hope that you have been well. I hope that you have been frothy. I hope that you have been delicious in your endeavors, and I hope that you've been kind to yourself. And this is critical, unless you suck. Because if you suck, well, then I hope things aren't going well for you in general. You know, if you're a bad person, you know, I hope everyone's doing well, except for bad people. Is kind of that's I think what I'm sticking to right now. What I'm generally willing to accept. I'm definitely gonna need a way to make this portal. I'm making it on top of a bunch of beautiful cherry trees, and I don't want to light them on fire. So fire containment and fire suppression is going to be important. Water source is going to be vitally important. There's definitely need for some material to build the old way up. But I think that should be quite manageable. I just need at least a shovel in order to face my inner demons, you know, to face my inner demons of not being at the correct elevation. And I think well, I think too much. I think too hard. I think about too many things. And one of the things that makes me think so much as the sponsor of today's video. Uh, no. Let's see. Why do I need a reason? I'm just sick of hearing the sponsorship messages. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. This is quite a tower. I feel like there's a biblical, you know, a biblical about this. In the Bible, in the Bible, there's like a story about something like this. That's really cool how the cloud cover kind of fills this in. I like that a lot. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that I could do this. I think the way that I am going to do this is I'm going to make like a 5 block radiating out in every direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And use that to make the spacing, because I don't want this just to be like a bashed together portal. I do actually want it to look like sort of proper. So I'm going to make 4 portals ultimately, but you know, once I make one in this area, then it's pretty much done. The nice thing about having 4 portals is I can actually like, I can delineate which portal is, you know, east, north, south, and west, so I can actually, yeah, just make it clear to myself, so I'm not guessing my orientation in the nether once I get there. So I can literally just visually look, be like, oh, north, east, south, west, right? Like have a tree or a redstone torch or just something, maybe even a sign to label each of the corners, and then I can tell when I go from the overworld to the nether, which direction I'm going in. So I'm gonna start by basically the portal. I want 1 block above this, so this is where my lava is gonna go, and I want at least I want at least 5 blocks on the base. Gives it a little bit of symmetry, and I do need this block to exist, but I don't need it to persist. This would probably be a better way to do this. And I want a channel through which water can access can access this layer. So it's kind of like this, right? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, and then I've got a torch here, and I've got this. So I want, yeah, I mean, this one I can actually access if I go here and here. Yeah. Let's see. So then, because I'd like this to be a little softer, I could just do like gravel and then stone, like this. So this will be the water block. I'm just trying to like plan this out properly. So it's literally this, and then 1, 2 on either side. And I'll just get as far as I can with the amount of cobble that I have, but I can just reuse the same cobble over and over to get this where it needs to be. Poison something. I'm trying to remember. There was something really important that was like made out of poison, but I can't quite remember what it was. Maybe in the comments down below you can try screaming at me, you know, in retrospect, and help me remember. Poison something. Poison something. Poison something. No, it's not coming to me. I think I have some sort of amnesty, some kind of Amtrak, some kind of Americium, disorder, something am related. Don't quite know. I don't quite know how to figure it out. You know, it's tricky. Should I be sleeping right now? Probably. Okay. So I do want to minimize the amount of time that I spend where there is like open lava. Otherwise I'd deposit these buckets up here, but it is kind of just a dangerous project. Let's see. Democracy, something in something. Yeah, what is democracy? Clearly, if you look at the etymology, right? Democracy comes from the root words demon. Okay, bad start right there. And crassy. So, that doesn't, crassy, I don't know, that sounds bad. That sounds like crass. That sounds like just not a good thing. So, you know, I mean, I think honestly, like, democracy, can she be trusted? I don't know, democracy, you know? It's like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Probably it's bad, right? Because it's demon and crassy, you know? Like, you know, we don't like the people who talk crass, like, you know? It's just not a good thing to talk like. So, there is that. Yeah. Let's see, where did I start? I think I started on this one. So, maybe I can see from here where the escape route was. I remember there was just like a block of gravel. And you go down. Oh no. And then, what's going on here? No, that's 2. Okay. So, how do we... I don't know. That seems very silly. I feel like... Oh, that's it. That's definitely it. so then where's that? Okay, so I just need to go under this one. So what was stopping me when I tried? Was it this? Okay, well I just have to go. And then, there we go. Okay, I must have just missed it. Is this a good time to change the difficulty setting because I forgot? Definitely. I'm gonna need to build another shovel before the end of this. Okay. How do we... Oh, there's a creeper. Okay, well, I guess that just is what it is. Oh, not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. And then sleep. Nice. Alright. So, this... one of these... The other thing I could do is I could bring a cauldron up there, but I think that's maybe not the best idea. Okay, that's fine. So I have all the material I need. I'd like to start depositing lava up there, but... I mean, we could go up as far as the vines. That's kind of a start. But I do like the general, like, appeal of that. It does feel like it's big enough that it feels like epic, you know? It feels like on a kind of heroic scale, but it's also like small enough that it doesn't feel overwhelming. Or like, I don't know, like it's gonna be like a monolithic project, you know? Oh, come on. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do what I was trying to do the last couple times and failed. No. Come on. Here we go, one more time. No. You know what? I have powers. Why not use them? There we go. So, here we go. There's this, there's that. I definitely want to find where those vines would be coming up, and I need to kind of go on memory for the exact location, because I remember building up from here. So yeah, that looks right. That does look right. Okay. So, is it this one? I think it's this one. At least I'm on dirt, not gravel, so I can actually make that adjustment. That's not so bad. There we go. Okay, and then we just keep going. We just keep going. We just keep going. And then the vines have found... Okay, so there's... Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about the vines. Because that's almost right. It's a little frustrating that it's so close without actually being what I need it to quite be. There. Okay. Alright, I'm definitely gonna want to do something, I don't know, differently, but I don't know yet what it is. You know, there are times in all of our lives where we feel lost, pathetic, stupid, a little dripless, perhaps, a little lacking in the old noggin brains department, a little, you know, irreparably doomed, you know, and in those times, the most important thing to do Yes. Poison spiders. You thought I forgot. You thought I forgot. I heard you forgetting that I think that you forgot. You know? And that simply won't be tolerated by the draconian hand of this particular YouTube channel. I won't let it happen. This is very, very scary. The fact that it's just like, wow. Okay. I almost died. That was too scary. That was too scary. No. What do I do? How do I find my way down now? Looks like that, maybe. I mean, this is the center of the nexus, so really, this should be where the pipe is. So maybe if we do this, we can... oh, God. Alright. But that would put it on... this. So what I actually want is I actually want this to carry down here, because that's right in front of that nexus. So then that means that I have to actually go through this tree's core and work my way down from there, I guess. I don't know. I just want it set up so that the vine will, like, carry me through, but I also have to remember that that is a lethal... That's definitely a lethal drop, right? Yeah, well, let's just try it out, and maybe it'll be fine. No, I'm not doing that. Here we go. Let's do that, and then this. I mean, my goal is to die less in this episode than I died in the last episode. Oh no. Oh great. Okay. Can she do it? Can she achieve it? Maybe. Let's see. Okay, so we need water. That's one of the things. And then we definitely need more lava. And if that tree starts burning down while I'm gone, that'll be troubling, but ultimately not unexpected. So I'll just deal with it. I'll just deal with it. Lava's right. We've got everything we need there. We've got a water bucket. I could make a waterfall down, which I think I will actually. That is perfect. Yeah, it's just one block placement, right? That just makes everything else so much easier. Let's try this. Okay, so we drop down here, and then I know that there is the center, so I want this to be literally right beneath it. So I want this to be here, and then I want to go, I think I'll do a 3x3 centered on the portal, and then I can make like a proper fountain, some kind of water feature, you know, something to like really, I don't know, just make it nice, you know. But there we go. We've got a nice big pool of water. That's a big target to hit if we're jumping from like high up. And then we can have like a waterfall going down near where the vines will be. So we use the waterfall until the vines grow in. Yeah, and I mean, the vines give us a lot of options, I think. So now it's just the climb up. And there's this. Okay. Oh no. Well, that's still not 8 deaths. Just saying. Or 9. I think it was 8. It depends on how you count. What counts as death, you know? when does it actually count as dying? Is it when your heart stops beating? Is it the last time someone speaks your name? Probably. One of those. At least one of those. You know, I'm gonna need my shovel. I'm gonna need my shovel to, like, actually redo all this, but I'm also gonna need my water buckets. I'm also gonna need the flowers and the bow and just my stuff. I just want my stuff, you know? It's not objects that provide security. You provide security, you know? By thinking intelligently and making rational decisions. Rational decisions. That's why those two things are the same word. It's actually because rash decisions are rational. The decisions which give you a rash. Those are all the same etymology. So when someone says be rational, tell them, oh well, you know, I would, but I don't have my itching cream, you know, and then they'll look at you and they'll be like, oh, I feel so silly because I was wrong and also dumb, and that's basically the size of it. That will be the truth, you know. I think I'm gonna sleep. So I don't get those creeping little nightmare creatures that I adore, you know, that I love. Those flying little wonderful guys. Yeah, I'd really like to get rid of them. I'd like to, you know, remove them from existence. Here. Okay, so it's morning now. I don't know if monsters spawned in that little bit where there was like dark, but I don't really fancy taking any chances. Okay, so I see the water pool. I see that it's centered. That's nice. That's good news. But then what happens here? I don't remember. Okay, so then if I go up one and put that there, is there still room? No. So I gotta up more. So I need to remember I'm one over to the right, and then this is one over to the right from there. Which is like, why is that? I don't remember. Oh, great. Okay. Hello and happy Tuesday, everyone. I have got all of the lava ready and everything ready for starting to make portal frames so we can access the warp forest and hopefully start growing some of those trees in the overworld. You know, it'll take a couple of things going pretty well for that to all work out, but you know, I definitely didn't die multiple times just now, and that's why I'm definitely not restarting this episode. That's not the case. I don't know who told you that. I don't know who you're working for. I don't believe. You know, in life after love, to be quite honest. Of all the things that I believe in, that's one of the things that I don't actually believe in. I think that once you fall in love once, that's it. And it's not possible to have good relationships anymore. And you should just give up. Just give up. If you've been divorced, just continue being the world's most divorced, you know, person. Or abstract concept, if I'm being brutally honest. You know, some of y'all are literally just abstract concepts floating out in the void, you know? I don't like to besmirch anyone. well, I do. That's one of my favorite things, actually, is besmirching people. But, well, I don't like it when they know that it was me, so I say that it was someone else. There's a slime, probably, somewhere, and that slime was the one that said it. I've decided just now. So, that's about the situation. That's pretty much what the situation it is. It's that, the situation is like pretty situation coded in my HOMBUL open onion. In my humble, that's how you spell humble opinion. Okay, so there. Okay, so now we need more lava. We already need more, although we can definitely go one more block up. But I think this is probably my favorite configuration for doing portal stuff, because it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't expect much of you, It's just like, okay, well, we just put this block here, we put this block here, we chunk out the pieces that we don't want, and then you only have to dig out cobble, and you don't have to dig up or deal with actually getting diamond before you go to the nether, because it's such an unnecessary point in the power progression, I think, of the game, to get diamond. I mean, eventually you need it, but there are so many useful materials for technical aspects of the game that you only find in the nether, that it's often just the best idea to go straight there. What I'm looking for right now in this world is to go nether quartz, so that I can make a timer system that will run a mob spawner. So I can make bones, so I can make lots and lots of bone meal. So I can really just guessy it all up, guessy this whole situation right up. Definitely guessy it, guessy. Definitely not a word that's possible to misinterpret with other interpretations of it. It's a totally unambiguous word that can only mean one thing, and that is to improve the quality of, right? To gussy something up is to improve the quality of it. To gussy something down, therefore, might be to reduce the quality of that thing. I think that's quite plausible. I think that's reasonably reasonable. But I might be totally, mentally, I might have, severe, so that's, take it with a grain of sentences. Okay, we've got a pumpkin here. Got beets here. I'm definitely going to want to do something different with the way the pumpkins are arranged and this whole cropland is arranged, but I think honestly I'm going to I am going to change more than just that. So okay, well that's alright. I can definitely dump some stuff. I can get rid of some of this, I can get rid of that, I can get rid of that, I can throw these in here, I can throw that there, I can actually I want that. And ladders, I don't really need ladders. I don't need this dripstone right now. I don't need this stone right now. And the pumpkin I don't really need at this exact moment. And even, I kind of want some cherry blossoms. Or some cherry saplings, I guess, if you want to be all, actually using the right word for things. Like some kind of nerd would do. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good lava generator. It's a pretty good source of lava. It's a pretty good way to acquire sufficient lava for my, interdimensional needs, my interdimensional travel needs. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It goes poison spiders, interdimensional travel, poison spiders in new contexts, and then food. So those are the priorities I'm working with, and you know, people ask me like, how do you achieve your success? How do you do so well? How are you the coolest and best person, well, ever? And you know, I mean, all I can answer is those 4 or 5 or however many things. Poison spiders, interdimensional travel, poison spiders in new contexts, and food. You know, with those pillars, if you truly understand the truth to those pillars, you know, you can anything, absolutely anything. And I'm not afraid to say it. I used to be, you know, I used to be like, you know, coaching my answers. I used to be like, you know, telling them my answers that they'd done a good job and they were great, and you know that I was proud of everything that they'd achieved. But you know, now my answers they can live on their own terms. So I've already done 2 layers up from there, so that means that it's 2 wide or 2 high, 2 spaces high, 3 spaces high, because that includes the corner block. So I do want this to go higher. How much higher? I'd like 5 blocks in the frame. So I think I'm counting this as my 3rd then. My 3rd layer to this portal. Okay, so that's something. You know, we're getting there a little bit, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Slowly, however, surely. Slowly, surely. Okay, 2 more. So that brings us up to a total of 4 for the height. We've still got 4 more blocks. Oh, schnurbles. Okay, we haven't ruined it. We've actually created a lava generator, so that's good. Okay, so here's the question, right? Because I started up here, if I go down from here, then that would be where that opening is. So I'm wondering if maybe, like, where should I start from, I think is the easiest way to phrase that. I mean, I could just make my life a little easier, rather than going all the way to the top. I could go up to where these vines start and work my way down from there. I'm gonna need more shovel energy, more shovel action, more shovelism. But I think first and foremost, I'm gonna need more lava. So we're just gonna keep making lava until we've made this portal. And once this portal is made, you know, everything, absolutely every aspect of life will be solved. And from then on, everything will be perfect and nothing will go wrong. And that is, you know, just an obvious, basic, you know, totally uncontestable sort of a fact. You know, there are these things called facts, and that would be, you know, one of those. So, you know, cherry blossoms, cherry stems, cherry saplings, cherry gossans. I don't know what a gossan is. Reminds me of like a nautical term. I feel like it's probably a nautical term. I think what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna leave this behind and I'm gonna grab 1 more lava. Because we might as well open up that space for a little bit more lava farming. Yeah. Well, it is quite a beautiful day. It's almost a ridiculously beautiful day. Now, where did I start building up? Was it here? Yep. go. And every time I do this, I'm losing gravel. But I am losing it and making flint, so I'll definitely be able to make a flint and steel. You can make a lot of them. I find it's really helpful just because, like, if you run into ghasts, it's a nice insurance policy to always have a way to, like, relight the portal if it gets blown up on either side. So, like, having a chest next to your portals that has, you know, a flint and steel, a bucket of water, like, even just 2 buckets is helpful. Food, helpful. Arrows, definitely. That's one of the things that, like, often when you die, you, like, lose your arrows and you're like, where are my arrows? You know? Well, trouble no more. You know, your arrows are where you left them. You know? You dummy. So yeah. Okay, so there's only a couple of spaces, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna just make space for this, and then grab some water from down here. But there's something about this that's, like, missing. Because, yeah, that's only 1 block. Oh. I've kind of caused myself trouble. No matter. I will persevere. I think I can do this. Yeah, okay. So, what are we at height-wise? I just want to actually see it. I might actually be able to just remove the material supporting the frame, and then I can just work from, you know, where I'm at. So the height we've got is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's 3. So the layer that is in contact with the dirt is at height 4. So this is at height 5. So that means that on top of that will be the row that has this. So I'm just gonna go brave style there. And that's probably going to ruin my whole vine growth. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to keep a positive attitude, you know? I'm not going to scream my head off. I'm not going to start a revolution. I'm not going to start a violent armed rebellion. I'm not going to start, you know, some kind of horrible, cascading, you know, biological anomaly that eventually engulfs all human civilization and destroys us all. That would be silly, frankly, to do that. So I'm not gonna. Alright. That's interesting. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 in the middle. So I think I can just go 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then if I pick this one up, then I still want to fill in those 2, but that's just like the edges of the frame. I think I can actually light this now, unless I'm highly silly, you know, unless I'm deeply silly on, like, multiple levels. Because, yeah, we did 5 wide at the bottom, which means we did 3 wide on the interior, and then we're at 5 wide on the top. I don't know if this is going to be big enough for, like, ghasts. When I get a diamond pickaxe, I think what I'll do is I'll, like, get this and then move it over 1 to either side. But now I have the material, so that's the important part. I'm going to remove everything around it, you know, unglove the case, whatever the word is for this. I'm going to accomplish that process, and then once the portal is in its, you know, ungloved, decased, you know, sort of state, then I'll go ahead and light it up, you know, as they say, to refer to something being, you know, set ablaze. You know. Okay, so, I don't know, this feels like a really bad idea, so I'm gonna go ahead and edit it. Yeah, there we go. And then this, and then this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and that. There's no way any of this could go wrong, except for the numerous ways in which it could. And I definitely won't fall to my death at all. It just won't happen. Of course not. How could it? It's not even possible for that to happen. I cannot die. I cannot be killed. Alright. Do I have enough, you know, armor and resources to cope with the Nether? No. Not even close. Is this a terrible idea? Well, you know, Jesus famously said, you know, I got this. So, you know, don't even worry about it. Don't put no worry on my name. Oh, nice. We've actually got Crimson Forest and Warp Forest right here. So that's perfect. I just need some golden armor and some proper armor and some proper weapons. But I have got most of the iron that I need to actually accomplish that, so that's pretty good. But I think what I'm going to do for now is I'm actually just going to work my way down and check on those vines. Okay, I didn't totally mess up my vines. That's good. I do want to see where they've gone, but I don't have a shovel, so this is going to be agonizing. I could skip the video here. I could. But, you know, we're all in this together. Something, something. Poison spiders. You know. We all have poison spiders. If we're going to poison spiders. Poison spiders. You know? That's critical. So I'm just gonna live with it. Definitely one of the things I wanted to do was to migrate poison spiders into the Warped Forest. But the nearest place where we have spawners for those poison spiders is like outside of the mountain. So we're gonna have to find a way to deal with that. But that should all be doable. I think we've bypassed whatever monsters were monstering around. Okay, now every time we go up there, we can start just building on that portal idea. I'm gonna make my helmet the crown, because that seems like logical to me. It doesn't confer that much extra protection, and it's nice to have a tiara, you know? And there's armor. I have definitely some gold somewhere. It's possible that armor just broke. The thing I'm really worried about is hoglins and pigmen. Because if you don't solve that problem, then the Nether is like absolutely unbelievably dangerous, and especially a Crimson Forest. But if you do solve that problem, the Crimson Forest is actually like one of the safer biomes. I honestly think it's safer than the Orc Forest, just because like you don't have to worry so much about where you're looking or where a pumpkin on your head, because that really reduces your field of vision. Yeah, I mean, I think what I'm gonna do is, because I have a pickaxe and I have this pickaxe, I might be able to. Yeah, I might be able to just go grab some gold from this mine. I don't know. This might go well. This might go well. It's possible. It's technically possible that it could go well. You know, does that mean it will? We'll see. I am wearing a lot more armor than I have been. So, and I've got a bow and I've got 4 arrows, which isn't nothing. And this is pretty lit up until we get down into like the deeper sections of the mine. So there's some hope. There's some hope. Yeah, boots would minimize the number of actual ingots that I need. But the boot slot is actually like pretty useful in terms of enchantments. Ice Walk comes to mind, or Frost Walk, whatever it's called. But definitely there are others. Yeah, look at all that. There's a lot of monsters in this cave. And then there's that ledge there. I mean, I'm hoping to find some gold, but this might be a taller order than I would like. Especially since I've attracted now the attention of that skeleton. But this gives like a nice separation between 2 areas of the cave, and I think it's possible from here to maybe make this, to make a safer descent. Yeah, I mean, at least on this side there are zombies. I find them a lot easier to deal with. Especially when I've got like a water barrier like this. I'm going down a hill. Anything trying to come along will get swept over to the side there and into that hole. So it's actually like not guaranteed that I'll even have to deal with it. Bonk. Oh, there's copper. That's not really what I was looking for though. I see that spider. Okay, this feels manageable. Okay, that's less manageable. There we go. Well, you know, some free mining. Let's consider it free block removal by our friend the Creepler. Alright. There's that. There's this. This feels like a little bit of a dead end now, which I wasn't expecting. Okay, this could be better. There we go. Alright. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any gold. Okay, fine. It's honestly a lot less stress to try to not worry if creepers blow up or not. See, like, in water, they won't actually do any block damage. Like any damage to the blocks. So they're kind of like less of a problem. How's my armor doing? My armor's holding up really nicely. So, but am I being reckless? Yes. Am I lacking in wreck? Oh yeah. Is the amount of wreck that I have at my disposal you know, minimal? I would say so. I would argue so. I would agree if someone were to make that, you know, that dissertation. I would say the lack of rack is disturbing. Alright, but am I seeing any gold down here? Am I seeing even one gold ore? I mean, it only takes one vein, really. That's like 3 skeletons right there. Oh, great. Alright, well. Come on. Come on, face me like a skeleton. Because now I know that there's more skeletons there anyway. But I have the range advantage. If I could just aim. I do need more food. Okay. I mean, the more of these areas I light up, the more monster spawning is concentrated in the subsequent areas. Nice. That was fun. See, there is some success to be had. And then there's an Enderman. But I gotta figure out where I actually came down from, because I'm running low on food, running low on torches, haven't found any gold. That looks like a way up. Oh goodness. I was really hoping he wouldn't be that bold. Yeah, look how much copper there is. It's a lot of copper. It's a lot of copper. It's a lot of police officer. Let's see, maybe there's something further back in here. So far this is looking pretty pathetic, but maybe there's like a thing somewhere, like one gold block. I don't think it's rare in this biome. Yeah, but this canyon just doesn't. Okay. Other ideas. Do I have any other ideas? I mean, in order to access the Nether, I'm definitely gonna need. What was that? I hope that was just jumping on the sky. I did see a skeleton around. So, there's definitely stuff. Okay, so I remember coming down off this. I remember that was part of it. So it's probably on the other side of this. And I see torches, so that's a good sign. I remember that. There's drowned. There we go. And conduits. I'm definitely going to actually want to make conduits. I know people have been like very down on them. But I find conduits like really an interesting concept, especially if you're doing like cave diving, because there are now like tons of submerged caves in Minecraft, and like it's quite nice to have like a stationary point where like you have a very large area to work with. So like in exploration, I find it like, well, is soul sand better? Yes. Is it easier to acquire? Yes. Is it reusable and based on only one block placement? Yes. But you have to literally be in that one exact block. And right now, spawn proofing underwater, it's tricky. It's just resource and time intensive. And I think that the spawn definitely does ongoing damage. What are they called? The conduits. The conduit with the frame does do a little bit of ongoing damage to enemies, so that is a good thing. Provides a little bit of a deterrent. I think it does provide a very, very small bubble of spawn proofing, but I could totally be wrong about that. Light may help, but I think drowned spawn, even in light conditions, they just need water. So it's really nice if you're like running out of air not to get knocked out by like a one by one bubble column. Okay, so we have our Nautilus shell. Didn't find any gold down there. Maybe I forgot something in one of these. Happy with the outcome of that. Alright, thank you all so much for watching. As always, you know, something. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, thank you to my long-term supporter on Patreon, Sasha. You can support me there on Patreon for as little as $1 a month to help me keep making these videos, and in order to get access to the world save for this world and for my other world, which I call Blue World, which has a lot more built in and already there, lava generators, it's got a whole network, but I think it's honestly like the best experience if you just go and try it for yourself. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you enjoyed it. I know this is just getting the portal done and seeing what's on the other side of it. We're gonna have to go further to go and find some gold. But as always, no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through, no matter what your situation is in life, it is always Tuesday, and have a good day.